Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Football, TITTH number 57. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got Nick Davis and Emron Khan with me. Say what's up, guys.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, guys?
Yep, getting to it here. TITTH number 57. No Thursday night football this week. Thank you, Titans. We'll get to you soon. But right out of the gate, we got to get to it. Breaking news. Lev Bell signs with the Chiefs. We were hoping, to give up some talk here. Dolphins, Chiefs, Bills, kind of get into it, where we think he's going to land. And, of course, Lev Bell and the Chiefs beat us to it. Instant reaction, guys. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is he in trouble?
Yes. And the way, right before I left to come film this, I got the breaking news that Lev Bell signed with the Chiefs. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And now he's like, what happened? What happened? And I was just like, the defending Super Bowl champs with the $250 man got one of the best running backs in the NFL from the most incompetent team in the NFL. She was like, well, you guys got a lot to talk about. It's just the rich getting richer. And it's very frustrating that it's almost like collusion. It seems like, it seems like they're like, oh, I got this guy. Well, I mean, we'll get into it about how the goddamn Jets did not accept a draft pick, even a 7th rounder for him, and just let him walk. But like that kind of behavior is just like, I'm surprised Bill didn't pick him up, to be completely honest, because he's just one of
Seems like a Bill move.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Chiefs got him. It's just the rich getting richer. They didn't need a running back, but he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to be played. Andy Reid must have sweet talked him. So good for the Chiefs, I guess.
I think it's a good fit for both of them. Just probably not a coach that's better in the NFL at utilizing running backs and just making them productive. Bell, he didn't completely fall off from what he was in 2017, right? He's not the same player, but he's not as bad as he looked on the Jets. He's got a competent offense that's littered with talent at every level. Those 2 back sets are going to be pretty nasty with him and CEH. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're one of those people that unfortunately took CEH around 1 or early round 2, that hurts because it's obviously a full-blown committee now.
Did you get him in your auction league?
No.
So you don't have any shares of him?
I have him in one league, a smaller league, but I got him at like the top of the no, I'm sorry, it was the 10th pick.
Okay.
So that was not terrible spot. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, what are you going to do? And I mean, for Bell, it makes sense. Go with the best team, right? The team that's going to probably be in it. Right. The Dolphins and Bills, I kind of got. Dolphins I didn't really get unless he's going for tax shelter. But
the Dolphins would have been nice for that.
Yeah, but the Jets, I don't get it. Like, teams are offering you a draft pick, and
you take nothing.
Ugh.
0. Like, what?
How can someone cheer for you?
Tell me how 0 is better than nothing.
And it's not even just a draft pick. Like, you could have probably gotten some of that contract off of your books and not have to eat all of that. I mean, but it's the Jets. The Jets are going to Jets. We always say we're not going to talk about them anymore, but they keep doing stupid shit.
No,
they're sucking us back in.
They're definitely driving a lot of talk for us, the goddamn Jets. Adam Gase, he's going to retain play calling. Talking about, it doesn't matter if we didn't use Bell appropriately. Yes, obviously, if I go to work and I don't do my job and I don't do it well, yeah, sure, nothing bad could happen if I'm in the boys' club, but that's not real life, and that's not what Adam Gase is living in. I really don't understand it. For the Jets, more Frank Gore, more LaMichael P. Ryan. You got Brashad Perriman and Denzel Mims coming back this week. Thank you. Who cares? They're really, really bad. We're going to get into some Jets props later.
I mean, they do have an elite quarterback. They have Flacco.
They have a Super Bowl winner and a legend in Frank Gore. Yeah, their roster is lit for sure.
They're about to give up Quinnen Williams, the number 3 overall pick 2 years ago. I would take him on any team, to be completely honest. I mean, a young defensive lineman drafted high. It's the Jets, so his production hasn't been exactly high, but he does have potential, and we're seeing now that it's an organizational problem with the Jets, and these players are just suffering. And, I'm glad that they're letting go all these players. I hope everyone gets out. I hope they just throw away the team at this point, because it's just it seems like the new Cleveland Browns where dreams go to die.
I'm sure Sam Darnold is starting to bang that drum. Please let me go. Free me. Let me go.
Freedom.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold needs to get out of there.
Please.
Jets, Washington football, teams that are going to be looking to grab quarterbacks next year, potentially. Jets are going to be in that mix. Sam Darnold, I think you got to move on to greener pastures. Speaking about greener pastures, it is officially Andy Dalton season. Andy Dalton taking over for Dak Prescott, going to be starting this weekend. Did anyone here get any shares? Andy Dalton?
I did, actually. In our auction league, it's auction for waivers, too. It's 2 quarterbacks, 14 teams. I emptied the bank.
The bank?
I emptied the bank.
How big was the bank account?
200. So I know everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Was it a 2 quarterback league?
14 teams.
Okay.
14 teams.
Okay, well, it makes sense. It plays.
And,
I don't hate it.
Can you guys give me 1 second? I got to load up my red rifle. I mean, with all these weapons, Andy Dalton is like competent enough to, be productive. It's not the Cowboys were really lucky to get him when they did for nothing. It's a tragic injury. Obviously, we hope Dak, he posted a video today that he's doing better. The surgery successful. He's going to be in recovery now because he was just on a fucking tear before he got injured. But with Dalton, with Cooper, I think this helps Zeke out the most. So I think they're going to rely on him more. What does worry me, though, is Tyron Smith is out for the year, too. That line, which once used to be touted as the best in the NFL, it's really pedestrian right now of what's left of what it used to be. But I think, your players are still going to have value because their defense is still some shit. So, they're going to be in shootouts this week, even though I did pick them this week to beat the Cardinals on Monday night.
Ooh, that'll be a good game.
Yeah, but I think their offense is still going to hum along. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I think Zeke will probably be the biggest winner. I think that if there's a loser here, you're pretty much cutting it up between maybe Gallup and Lamb.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I'm not.
So someone here is going to have to buckle down. Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. Yeah, because I think that
I don't know. Andy Dalton seems kind of like a Dalton kind of guy.
I see this offense being geared more towards the receivers. Dalton is. I don't think it was really like that he was bad. It was just that he's on a bad team. I mean, he did show up when AJ Green was healthy and was, one of the better. Yeah.
Oh, he's had good years.
Yeah. So I think
he's had a good time in Cincy for sure.
I think him coming into the Cowboys offense, not their defense, but their offense, I think is going to be a boon for him. And I think he's just going to kind of fill in that role that Dak has. Going to be a great stopgap. The one thing that I really liked when, I saw on Twitter, this was from John Machado. Michael Gallup says, every time Andy Dalton enters the huddle, he says, I came here to win. I came here to play, so let's do it. Dalton to the offense when he came in after Dak went down, focus up. This is what I came here for. He's a professional, and he's going to give his best effort. And I think that, Dak is an elite quarterback for how young he is. I think Dalton has a lot of experience in the NFL, and I think he'll be able to parlay that and just kind of be like the game manager role and let Zeke eat and do his thing while also giving the weapons the ability to do their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as like spending on this guy, going out and getting him, I got him for free. Not trying to compare or anything, but
it depends on the league.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. And I picked him up in a single quarterback league for free. I was absolutely shocked that he didn't get picked up. I had Justin Herbert, got a new bye this week, right? Revamped schedule for the NFL. Thank you again, Titans. Big fuck you. So Herbert, he's on a bye. I bidded on Fitzpatrick, and I grabbed Dalton for free because who the fuck knows what's going to happen? You got the Falcons shutting facilities down from COVID. If I don't have a second quarterback on there, I could be screwed on a Sunday morning, right? I don't want to dive into
how last week went.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cam Newton owners, anyone?
Ooh, I got some fantasy break to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday.
So you want to load up on when? So I was able to get Dalton for free. With all that, kind of throw that out the window. It doesn't matter. As long as you got him, you should be happy. And looking forward, I think that he is going to be a productive quarterback. There's going to be some really big weeks. I really feel that way. I think there are going to be some matchups where, you're not trying to start him. I don't think he's necessarily an every week starter unless you are in 2 quarterback leagues and you're just, you have to get that guy into your lineup. I'm in a 14-team super flex league as well. And just trying to make moves in general is difficult when you have to always be rostering 3 quarterbacks. Unless you just want to be the guy that tries to throw out, Divine Azigbo the week he comes back into the flex or whatever.
Wait till I tell you what.
Yeah, and so if you just want to throw out a random option in a quarterback spot, that's not going to win you consistently or win your weeks consistently, right? So yeah, I'm all about Dalton as far as winners losers. Hike up Zeke, and I think maybe I don't know. I feel like Dalton Schultz will wind up being a thing. I feel like he'll be a blanket, a nice safety blanket for Dalton. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure. I feel like Gallup is going to be the odd man out. He did look actually decent in that last game, but it was the Giants, so the passing was a little bit more friendly. I think Cooper is up because I think he'll try to lean on him and maybe Dalton Schultz more.
Yeah. So getting into our next person, speaking of wide receivers, obviously the biggest game on Sunday was Mr. Chase Claypool, who absolutely fucking went off.
Obliterated.
He had a 5th touchdown that was called back. Also,
we compared him to Nick Foles on Sunday.
He had some big Nick energy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, this is a guy that I was really high on during the draft period, just looking at all of his measurables, that he just looked like a freak, right? 6'4", 240, ran fast, and I really wanted selfishly my Bears to get him. Because it just would have fit so many needs. It's just a chess piece. Of course, he goes to probably the best situation in the NFL. He could go to the team that develops the receivers the best. And he flashed. He had obviously a huge game. He's not going to do that every week. But I told a couple of my buddies who are really diehard Steeler fans, I said by the end of next year, he'll be your number 1 receiver. I could see that. I think it might be sooner because I just think the way he's built, like it's not saying he's this player, but he's built like your DK Metcalfs. Like he's 6'4", he's big, but he's not slow. And, I think he's just going to just command a lot of space and be a matchup problem. And I think this is going to make Juju better.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that way too, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you look at the tandems there, when you saw like Hines Ward AB, and now you got Juju. Well, when you had Juju in AB, even in Juju's rookie season, right? Guys just being able to go off. I feel like there's a lot of people right now kind of discounting Juju Smith-Schuster, just because Nick alluded before the show started. There's been a different lead dog in that receiver room every week for the Steelers. Next week, apparently it should be James Washington.
Yep.
Because it's been Juju, Deontay Johnson. Who was the other one you mentioned?
The other one was Chase Claypool. I don't remember the 4th guy. Like he was so like off the radar for me, but the guy was like, according to my math, next week James Washington should pop. So we all know Twitter is always right.
But they are spreading the ball around with the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
They're giving it to all the running backs. They're giving it to all the receivers. So while Claypool did go off, this past week, what do you expect for him legitimately this week up against the Browns? I mean, Juju, he got a rest day today. Juju got a rest day yesterday.
Juju got arrested?
Rest day.
Oh, I thought he got arrested.
Was he in the car with Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, I missed that. Jeez, what's going on?
Shoddy.
Sorry.
So yeah, Juju got a rest day. He's going to be good. Deontay Johnson, he's going to be good this week. So everybody should be there. So you're a Claypool owner. I don't think either of us are. What are you expecting for him this week? Can he hit 7 touchdowns, 80 yards, and a tutty?
Oh yeah.
This.
All jokes aside, 7. You said 7 catches or 7 touchdowns?
Yes.
No, you said 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was like
7 catches, 80 yards, and a tutty. It's a pretty good week, if you ask me.
I think it's solid.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Going against the Browns.
I don't think he's going to do all 3 because I think if he's getting 7 catches, the big playability he has, I think he's going to be well over 100 if he's getting that many receptions.
Okay.
I think it's likely. I'll go out bold. I say he gets over 100 yards this week.
Ooh.
And one of the things I want to shout out Bryce real quick is on Facebook, who's a huge Steelers fan. He pointed this out to me earlier in the week. Every week this year for the Steelers, they've had a different leading rusher and a different leading receiver.
I hate that.
But I think this is where it stops, though.
Yeah, I hate that.
I think Claypool is going to cement himself just because he's so different than the other receivers.
Mm-hmm.
He's faster, he's bigger, stronger, and I think he's going to be the lead dog going forward.
Cam just dropped it. Cam, right here, buddy. Can't forget about Denzel Ward. And I wasn't going to say that Denzel Ward is going to be guarding, Chase Claypool all day. I just said, in my head here, about to spit it out. You got to keep him in the back of your head, right? They're gonna at some point, Ward will target.
Real quick question for you:
Mm.
if I'm Big Ben and I throw a jump ball to Chase Claypool, who's 6'4", what is 5'10" Denzel Ward going to do?
Well, I'm not a defensive back, obviously, but 5'11" gentlemen, they do guard 6'4", 6'5" guys.
I know they do, but I'm just saying, like those jump balls, because he's going to take those shots. Mm-hmm. I love Denzel Ward, not trying to downplay him, but I think those issues where I don't know if he's going to be able to. I think he'll be. I think on the underneath stuff, I think Ward will have a say. But when Ben takes those shots, 50-50 balls.
Well, that's 50-50, like you mentioned, and it's been at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a great situation for Claypool for this week. I think he's still going to be in a good spot because Ward is not going to be on him all day long. They will move him around the field, but it's not like it's like, oh, hey, go shut down that rookie that put one in their last opponent's eye. Like that's not going to be the game plan, right? They're going to focus in on him. He's going to take his licks for sure this week, but I do think he finds pay dirt over 100 yards. I don't know. I don't know. I really just don't. But I think he does grab a touchdown this week. Can he hit 75 receiving yards, Nick?
Yeah, I think he can. He has that big playability, but he's a big enough target to go across the middle and get those, possession receptions. 75 yards, I think, is completely within his wheelhouse.
You want to take a stab at another receiver that might take the helm this week? Is it Claypool again? Is he the lead dog? We've said each week they've had somebody different.
I think Claypool is definitely going to become the lead dog. I think there's going to become a pecking order now. I mean, Mike Tomlin has been able to see every rusher and every receiver have a leading game, basically. So now he can see how the game plan is going to go moving forward because he didn't have a preseason. So he had to see what his weapons were and what his rookies could provide. I think that Juju is way happier being a second receiver than a number one receiver. And Juju was so excited about Claypool's
he's a good teammate.
Yeah, he's a great teammate. He's a perfect guy to be number two.
He's not Antonio Brown, that's for sure.
Not Antonio Brown. And I think that with Claypool coming up, it gives the passing attack a second option, and instead of having to key in on a tight end or key in on the receiver of Juju, they can now spread the ball around and actually have a game plan all around the field.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good week this week. I think he does find pay dirt. I'm definitely saying to start him in fantasy, so definitely get him in your lineup. You guys want to run through the injuries coming out this week so far?
Sure. So, man, that's a lot. So we got Kareem Hunt was limited today. AJ Brown did not practice today.
Should be good.
Yeah,
just rest.
Sammy Watkins is going to be out for the Chiefs, who have a big game against the Bills.
Yeah.
Slayton was limited today. David Johnson was limited today. Zach Moss and John Brown, both Buffalo Bills, were at full participant. They're both going to be needed on Sunday against the Chiefs. Jarvis Landry did not practice. Baker Mayfield was limited, and I'm just not sure how injured he is. When I was watching the game on Sunday, the way he was grabbing his arm, I have no idea what Stefanski is doing leaving him in because they were pretty comfortably ahead. And
he's practicing, though. It's really weird.
So hopefully it's just something to keep in mind because that'll obviously affect Landry, Hunt, and Beckham. DJ Chark did not practice for 2 days in a row.
Not great.
And this isn't looking good. Usually what this means is that this is going to be a full game time decision. And this is a week you would definitely want to have him in. They're playing the Lions, which, if the Falcons didn't exist, that would be the worst secondary in football. So a lot of
upside this week.
Upside and potential there, but we just have to see. Cam's going to be back this week for the Patriots. It's crazy that 2 weeks flew by just like that for him on COVID. Shout out Titans. And Brashad Perriman for the Jets, like you mentioned earlier, is limited today, slated to play. Sterling Shepard was also limited. He's been on the IR, so he should be coming back, which could be good for that Giants offense. And AJ Green was limited in everything in life.
Yeah, past 2 days. But absolutely.
He's checked out. I don't know if you guys saw that interception. They just got to ship him out.
Yeah, they really do. And I guess I'll kind of jump into that for a second, Nick. Who do you think gets moved first, AJ Green or Julio Jones?
AJ Green.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Maybe not as hard a question as I thought.
I think the Falcons are doing a lot of evaluations right now to see who they're going to keep on. Like I said in the last episode, Julio is their best
potential piece to move.
Yeah, potential piece and to get the most return. But I see AJ Green kind of falling out of favor because, I saw that interception. It was kind of embarrassing.
And on the sideline, I forgot who he was talking.
Trade me.
Yeah, he literally said, just trade me. I think Green as well, because for the Falcons, they didn't just fire Quinn. They also fired Dimitroff, so they don't have a GM. I don't know if they let an interim guy make that big of a move midseason.
True. Yeah. True.
No finger pointing after the fact.
Yeah.
No, we can fire that guy too.
There are more injuries. So Dalvin Cook did not practice. OBJ, I can't read. Sent home with illness.
Yeah, he's waiting his COVID test. Maybe something to follow here going into the next few days here.
I was reading earlier today he ate something weird. He's feeling really shitty today. He's got stomach issues. he did have a lot of Miralax at the house, so
Yeah.
I just had to get that out there.
So Tyler Eifert was questionable. Julio did not practice. Gronk was limited. Scotty Miller limited. Mike Evans did not practice. Godwin limited. Oh, geez, that's all Buccaneers too.
Yep.
Fournette limited. Devontae Adams full practice. That's good. Garoppolo full practice, but how good is he? You know, we saw last week it was pretty much not good.
Not good. Is
yeah,
right.
not good. So Drew Ox full. Good to see him coming back. Fans limited. They're probably gonna, walk him back basically. Chenault did not practice. Bummer. And CMC did not practice. So
yeah. So diving into a few of those, I guess we'll just take it back from the bottom here. So CMC not practicing this week. It looks like. Well, didn't practice today. It doesn't mean we won't get one in maybe tomorrow for a limited, but I don't think they're going to rush him back this week. Is this around the time you're looking to potentially trade a player coming back from injury? Or maybe even try to go out and grab him. Are you? I don't think anyone here has any shares of CMC. Is that right?
No.
No CMC owners. But is that someone that you might try to target from a CMC owner? Are you high on him coming back?
Look, I got Frank Gore and Miles Gaskins. I ain't got much to play with.
So you got receivers to deal with.
I got receivers, but no one wants Justin Jefferson. So I'm kind of stuck with the team that I have right now. They did win me last week. So, I mean, unfortunately, I really don't have the pieces to try and go out and go get CMC, nor am I willing to give up my good pieces. I mean, I just had Dak go down, and he was my second quarterback in my super flex. But I got Fitzmagic and also Herbert. So I'm pretty much okay at the quarterback position. I think both of them got me over 30 points last week, and they were on my bench. So we'll see how it goes.
Ouch. Well, you have, what is it, Dak and Mahomes?
Dak and Mahomes. Yeah, and then I stacked it with Tyreek Hill. So there's numbers on numbers on numbers.
You did.
Yeah, for CMC, just looking at it from like a non-fantasy perspective for a second, if you're Matt Rule, first-year head coach, you're 3-0 without CMC. Not saying CMC was holding you back, but
scored 4 touchdowns in the games he played.
I think you should just cut him at this point.
Yeah,
they're 3-0. Why
Mike Davis? I'm not saying Mike Davis is better than him, but
he is.
He's been fucking tearing it up.
He's filling the role adequately.
He is, and it's just
more than adequately.
He's doing his job. So really, what is the rush? They're going to get their ass kicked this Sunday by the Bears, but after that,
they're going to need him big time.
Yeah, no, but honestly, like for them, and I think he had a high ankle sprain, right?
Yeah,
it was his injury, and those are those nagging injuries. So I mean, you have somebody who's doing more than capable. Why rush him back? And for fantasy, what you were asking, if I have him and I've kept him this long, I'm just going to keep him. I just would be kind of salty about trading him after that. And if I see somebody in my league, if that was their first pick and they didn't draft well after that and they're kind of struggling, I'll try to swoop in and get him for the low.
Yeah, I think you got to be taking a look at it for sure on both sides. If you're a CMC owner, I would be trying to gain something from this, right? You don't know what you're going to get when he comes back. It is your first overall pick.
Committee?
I would hate it. I would hate it so much. Very similar to how CEH owners and Bell owners are probably going to hate that Chiefs backfield. And not this week. Not this week.
They don't run anyways.
Yeah. Well, I got to imagine they'd try a little bit more, right? Try a little bit more running. But yeah, it's good. That will be an issue for sure. Like Mike Davis, he's been more than adequate. He's been there for them. CMC coming back, it could create not a great or a positive situation for the team, right? Not a great scenario for game script, for winning actual games. But for our fantasy teams, it's really, if you're the CMC owner, you should have Mike Davis either way, right?
Better, yeah.
Yeah, and if you are a Mike Davis owner and you don't have CMC, if you're able to steal that guy, from a CMC owner, then that's the guy that needs to be making a move. If you have Mike Davis, this is a really good time to try and flip him for anything that you can get, because 2 or 3 weeks, he's going to be done. Like his value is going to be peace out.
Yep.
Like that's just a fact.
It's good while it lasted, my friend.
It is. And I got a couple other guys to knock down on that too.
Mike Davis probably made a lot of money this season, to be completely honest. If he doesn't go back with Carolina, someone's going to sign him.
Yeah.
I mean, what team would let go a running back like that?
Yeah, nice.
Anyways,
we were all in on Cordell Patterson. Sorry.
He did okay last Thursday.
Speaking of running backs, though, Melvin Gordon. It's just
not a great scenario. I mean, yeah, we can jump over to Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon getting the DUI this week. Was he going, 110 or was it 90 and a 40? Something like that?
He just was going 30 miles over. The only one positive is obviously he's healthy. Nothing happened to him. Second, he did call John Elway right away and said, I fucked up. I mean, because it's going to get out.
Cool. Like what? Like great. You called your boss and said, "Hey, this isn't going to look so good tomorrow. Just wanted to give you a heads up so you don't find out on Twitter."
Well, I mean,
he was drinking because he heard Philip Lindsay was coming back. He was like, "Oh, there goes all my touches, man."
No, here goes all my touches.
Yeah, and I don't think anything's been made on the status confirmed. Fangio seems like a no-nonsense guy, so especially with Lindsay coming back and maybe a moderate. I mean, he's been doing very well for them this year. Like. And they're playing the Patriots, so I don't know if this is the week they decide to get on their moral high horse. But if you have Lindsay, great. If you don't, see if you can get Freeman or have another alternate, because this is one that he's not an injury, but this could also be a game time decision.
Yeah, so he was not allowed to practice yesterday after this came out. He was brought back to practice today, so he practiced in full today because again, he's not injured. He's just wasn't allowed there yesterday. Fangio has shown some level of support. We're here for the guy, but he's got to face consequences, et cetera. Right?
Yeah.
I don't feel great about starting him this week. I feel better about starting Philip Lindsay, who could have came back last week, but they got their game moved. So he got an extra week of rest, an extra week of reps healthy. I'm higher on Philip Lindsay this week. If you're a savvy owner and you got Gordon and Lindsay, I'm plugging in Lindsay. I'm keeping it simple. I'm trying to kiss it. I'm not trying to buy into Melvin Gordon this week just based off of, you mentioning Fangio being a no-nonsense guy.
Yep.
If he does find a touchdown, I think that's all he finds on Sunday. I don't think he's going to get a ton of volume. They do have Freeman there, Royce Freeman. So I don't think that they need to dive into the bag of tricks. I think they have some depth there. And, we just saw Sean Payton bench Mike Thomas for, poor behavior, right? Obviously, fighting a teammate is not drinking and driving, kids. Don't do either.
Don't call him Slant Boy.
Do not call him Slant Boy. Oh, my.
You call me a jive turkey over there?
Yeah,
it's like the same kind of thing. Like you get so frustrated, you punch somebody because they call you a slam boy. You're making $100 million, dude.
I mean, Mike Thomas, keep your cool. I mean, look who your quarterback is. Yeah, you're going to be Slant Boy. Get over it. But back to Melvin Gordon. I'm just not high on him this week. Nick, you're a Philip Lindsay owner. I know that you're throwing him in there, but are you concerned that Gordon comes in, poaches one on the goal line, or is Fangio just going to let Lindsay rock out this week?
What a goddamn punishment if he gets a goal line touchdown! Like shit, you don't even have to work
one
for
touchdown.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'd be kind of livid, but I mean, that's their choice to have him play or something. I knew picking Philip Lindsay that Melvin Gordon would be getting some touches, and just kind of got to live with that. It's better than rolling out Frank Gore. So I'll take my licks on that.
We'll see. I don't know that high octane Jets offense. Also with the Broncos, we got Noah Fant potentially coming back this week.
Good.
He's been limited the past 2 days, and they said last week it wasn't a very serious injury. So I'm expecting Fant to play this week. I'm going to start him because I have to start him. If he's healthy, I'm starting him because I have literally no one on the bench, and he just went through his pseudo bye week. So woohoo, good for the rest of the year.
And he gets his quarterback back.
And he gets Drew Lock back, who we got up next. Drew Lock practicing in full this week. Another guy that could have potentially came back last week, but the extra week of rest and reps going to do him all sorts of good. I think KJ Hamler was the only other guy there that missed practice that I can think of off the top of my head. But I'm liking the Broncos this week. Cover the spread, 9 points. Patriots.
If it was Hoyer, I would say yeah. With Cam, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No.
I think if this was Locke's second or third game back, I like their there's going to be rust. I think they keep it close, but I think the Patriots just beat the shit out of them the second half with Cam running the ball.
Sure. So we got potentially Fant out, potentially Melvin Gordon being limited, KJ Hamler being limited. I mean, who's going to be doing damage for these guys on Sunday? Are we all propping up some Jerry Judy this week? Is it JJ time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jerry.
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick. Hey, I ain't hating that.
Yeah, sneaky guy.
I'm starting him.
With all those people, with Deshaun Hamilton,
Mhm.
KJ Hamler, all those people, and Jerry Judy. He's been a nice little weapon for them.
Yeah. Tim Patrick, I think he has back-to-back touchdown weeks now.
Yep.
I mean, he had last week off. Whatever. Schedule change and all that. So, yeah, I'm excited about the Broncos this week. A team that I was high on coming into the season. Hated seeing Locke go down. Glad to see him back. That's good stuff. What about the Niners? Looked really bad with Garoppolo last week. They were saying that he didn't play in the second half because they need to take care of him. You just need to rest him. The injury is nagging. Now he's practicing in full. Looks like he's a full for week 6. He's a full go. Are you guys worried about your 49ers? I don't think anyone's starting Garoppolo. I don't think anyone's trying to roll him out right now.
Unless you're in a 2 QB league where you have no option.
I don't know. I might start a receiver there. He got negative points last week.
And he's playing a much better defense.
Yeah. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, watching that game, it just was like it reminded me of Space Jam when the Monstars took the talent from the players. Like it just was like, what are you doing? Just horrible passes he was sailing, just bad decision making. It's like 7-11 for like 2 picks. Like the Niners are in trouble. Like I was worried about that week 1, and I wrote about it. Like they might be facing a hangover. They're full blown hangover right now. They're last place in the division. They don't have anything. You can't say that. Oh, at least the running game is good, or at least like nothing is good on this team. The
running game looks pretty good. You don't like the running game? I mean, everybody. I mean, Jerick McKinnon had no problems with Mostert out. Tevin's not there. I mean, the zone outside zone looks good.
They can do that, but if they're losing, 43-17.
Oh yeah.
They're still going to pound the zone.
Well, the run isn't going to drive up the score. I mean, it's a very safe, protect the ball, protect the clock type of strategy. So.
Yeah, so I think they're in trouble. My bold prediction for the offseason, Kyle Shanahan's going to try to get Matt Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about that on Monday. Matt Ryan would be a perfect fit for the 49ers. I think that's his spot. Like, I don't know if there's anywhere else in the league with a coordinator and a system that's going to work for Matt Ryan. Like,
no, that's just
name me a place. There's the board. Like, give me a home where he's going to go, where there's an opportunity for specifically for Matt Ryan, the system that's going to work for him. It's the 49ers.
Yeah, and Garoppolo, from what I read last year, because there were some talks of Brady maybe going to the Niners, they can get out of his contract very easily. Yeah, it's not going to be on the hook for a lot.
So Nick and I were talking about this. Garoppolo the team has averaged 29 points a game with Garoppolo as the starter. They have a complicated relationship. They can get out of the contract, but the team has been so successful with him there. I mean, obviously this past week, it brought the average down for sure, but he lights up the scoreboard, and he is up there with touchdown percentage passing with the likes of, Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson from last year. I don't get it, but they have this odd relationship with Garoppolo. I mean, do you think that the Niners are going to deal him at the end of the season?
I think they have to evaluate this entire season. I think what he came back and did against the Dolphins was very embarrassing, especially for his contract value. I mean, my first thought was Shanahan's got to look at him and be like, dude, you got to stay away from those porn stars, man. Like, you just got to be in the film room with me. We got to talk.
Wrong film room, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're wrong film room, dude. So, they're there. Shanahan and Lynch are there for 5 years or 7, something like that. But their window is closing. They have an elite team around him, basically, and he is not performing to the standard that they had put in front of him. And especially coming from the room of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, he looks like the water boy. Like, he looks like he didn't pay attention at all. When Tom came back from injury, he was regular old Tom. When Aaron Rodgers came back from injury, he was regular old Aaron. But when Jimmy G comes back, he's actually a Jimmy. Like, they got to look at him and just be like, is this the guy that's going to lead us to the Super Bowl next year? And right now, he's not performing to the value of what they have him pegged as.
I feel so bad for Jimmy. I'm a fan. EIU. I mean, I love the dude, but man, it's killing me. I got nothing good to say about the guy right now. I have nothing good to say. Nick Mullins looks better, and he doesn't look great. Beathard looks better. He doesn't look great. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's Matt Ryan season next year for the 49ers.
We'll trade you Trubisky.
We could trade you Mitch. What do you think about that? Maybe Solomon Thomas, we get that back. We swap picks back.
You get Kittle back? No, I'm just saying.
Good God.
But this team,
give him Cole Kmet.
I think they're going to be in trouble, though. I think the Niners are going to lose on Sunday again. And it's going to be – and I saw their schedule. It gets ugly.
Oh, yeah. It gets they're in the thick of it. Who do they got this week? Is it the Rams? That's right. That's right.
Have fun with that, guys.
Yeah,
Aaron Donald's just throwing everybody around like he's a silverback gorilla.
He jumped on Alex Smith's back.
Ruthless.
Aaron Donald jumped on his back. Like, I thought that was going to be a penalty.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't, because he literally just was like, all right, I'm getting piggyback right. And
it was.
Dude, the guy has 1.5 legs. Like, relax.
So real quick, guys, the next 6 games for the San Francisco 49ers, the Rams, obviously, we talked about on Sunday. Then they have to go to New England Patriots,
have fun.
to the Seattle Seahawks,
have fun.
At home against Green Bay, so they get a break. Then they got to go to New Orleans and play the Saints. Then they come back. Then they have to go to the Rams. Then they come home, but then they got to play the Bills. Bad. And but December 13th, they get to play the Washington football team.
At home or away?
At home. But the next 7 games.
At away, though, it would be the same thing.
We could have gone.
Yeah, for real.
The next 7 games, though, it's
going to be brutal. To win the division, they are at plus 1,500 right now. Plus
It's not gonna
1,500.
happen.
They're just stealing your money at that point.
Yeah, these 7 games that they have coming, I think they might go over.
Pack it in. I think it might be time to pack it in. I mean, the defense is so banged up. Like missing Bosa and Thomas is going to be
Sherman too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Bosa, people call him like a top 5 player in the league.
Oh, he's
across the board top 5 player. So I like Sherman. Yeah, it's a missing piece, but it's not a glaring hole like Bosa.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I'm a Solomon Thomas guy. I wanted the Bears to draft him too, to be honest. But whatever, I would have taken him over fucking Mitch. Sorry. Yeah, but getting back into it, the other injuries that we have up here, we going over to the Bucks. Fournette, Godwin, Evans, Miller, Gronk. Emron, are you starting Gronk this week?
Fuck no.
Well, good. I just traded you Mark Ingram.
Yeah, it's just like last week was the week for him to kind of go off a little bit, when they were so depleted. No OJ Howard, no Godwin.
Yeah, no, Scotty Miller didn't show up last week either.
Yeah,
that little shit.
And so and his best game, I think last week was his best game of the year. 3 catches for 50 yards. Like, he's got to do more.
I think he may have did better. Well, no, I don't know if
57. Yeah, I remember.
I don't know if the week before he had 57 yards, but I think he had more catches.
He might have, but it's just he's not the same Gronk. I mean, if you're like, if that's really all you have left, then go for it. But I just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying to push Gronk into the lineup anymore. I think you got to keep him on the bench. I mean, really, he's a bye-week tight end at this point with his performance. Scotty Miller, not really interested. Didn't do anything last week. Where did this guy disappear to? I don't know. I had props on him. I was losing money on Scotty Miller last week. Mike Evans not practicing. Rest. I mean, Mike Evans has been good to go. Has scored a touchdown in every game. Godwin's the guy that you're worried about. Looking like he's going to be playing this week. I'm not loving it because when Godwin's out, Mike Evans is booming, and they're kind of eating into each other. But both guys
they're going
have
to
to start.
Yeah, they're going to be needed this week because I think they're going to be pulling off a little upset.
Who are they playing?
Green Bay.
Green Bay and the Bucks.
I mean,
Bucks got Bucks got a real good front seven. That's going to be some Green Bay kryptonite. That could help out.
It's going to help.
You guys just hate the Packers because you guys are Bears fans.
No,
the Buccaneers are not going to beat the Packers.
No, I hate the Packers.
We'll talk about that on Monday if they do.
Okay. You know what? I'll do a $5 bet with you right now.
Done.
You take Bucks, I'll take Packs.
Done.
You're already losing the Wentz and Rodgers bets, so I'm kind of winning against you right now.
Well, what about the wide receiver bet?
We're tied.
You have Hopkins?
I do have Hopkins, and I am actually.
I have Mike Thomas. He's played one game.
I'm also winning our bet with Jimmy G. If he passes under 2,300 yards,
just get hurt, Jimmy. Just get hurt.
Right now, it's looking like I'm going to be pretty much, having my beer.
You're going to be having the
warm.
camera is what you're going to have.
I'm going to be filming and writing signs. I'm going to have a lot of fun this year.
Alshon Jeffrey's coming back. Once is going to be fine.
You guys need Travis Fulgham to have another 150 yards every single game.
Speaking of guys,
talk to us like we're Eagles fans.
Stuff that killed me.
Well, he needs that passing yards.
We'll talk about this Falcons and Vikings game in a second, but man, I just got to talk about a little bit Tuesday night heartbreak for me. So I had my buddy Jonas was playing me this week. So I was had Josh Allen left. I needed 2 points to win the game. Right?
Oh no!
Last drive they pulled him.
Who?
Josh Allen.
Man,
my God.
That's the worst.
I just needed 2 yards. So a couple of completions and I would have won. So I lost by, I think, 1.7 points. Now in another league, I lost by 3 points because they pulled Singletary on that drive.
Oh my God!
So it's
wow.
And then
that's brutal.
And the brutal one, and this kind of ties into what we're going to talk about now with the Falcons and COVID, is on I think it was officialized Sunday morning about the Broncos and Patriots game, right? Is when they pushed it back because they thought they might do it on Monday, and then it went from not happening at all.
Right.
So this is that 14-team league I told you about 2 quarterbacks. So my 2 quarterbacks in that league, because Stafford was on a bye, were Hoyer and Locke. It gets worse.
Right.
I also have Edelman and Judy.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost all 4 of them within seconds, and obviously I already have Stafford and Hawkinson on bye, so my bench is gone.
Yeah.
It's a 14-team league with 2 quarterbacks. You guys know who I started at quarterback? Well, the one flex,
Joe Flacco.
He's picked up.
Oh, sorry.
So there was no starting quarterbacks left. So what I did was for my super flex, he's picked up too. My super flex, I plugged in Randall Cobb. I was like, somebody get points. You got 10 points.
Yeah, cool.
That's good enough for me.
So for quarterback, just because I was trying to get 1 or 2 points, I put in Jalen Hurts because I had seen the previous weeks he
You
got
get
a
a
couple
point.
rushes.
You get a
They
point.
put him in for one play. He threw an 18-yard dart, but you need 25 yards for a point, so I didn't get a point. I was like, let him stay in. But yeah, I just bring that up because that happens. I mean, how was I supposed to know that game was going to get canceled?
Oh yeah,
And I was going to have an impromptu bye.
It's a weird year. We signed up for it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So I mean, there's really no way around it. But that leads us into the next thing. There's reports today that Falcons had a personnel member that tested positive with COVID. So they're screening the players and seeing if the contact tracing, if anybody else has it. So that game could be. Hopefully, it's not in jeopardy. It's contained.
I think it's going to be a Tuesday or Monday game for sure.
I think there's no reason they shouldn't do that just to be safe.
Yeah, they're reporting that the Falcons can be back in their facility tomorrow. So I'm thinking that this game is going Tuesday or Monday for sure. For all we know, it may. I mean, they've been pretty clear that we're not moving the game as of right now. So the way it looks like, they're probably going to play on Sunday. If it does get moved, we're looking at Monday or Tuesday. I don't think that we're losing this game from this week's board. I don't think so. What do you think, Nick?
I don't know. It's a tough week, I feel, so I don't know. I'm gonna pass on this one.
Nick's gonna punt the Falcons and Vikings. I mean, how could you know, right?
They're both so bad.
I want this game so bad because the over it's a lock. It's a lock.
It'd be pretty good, but what do we know about football anymore with this COVID stuff involved? I mean, the Titans, they threw one in my face for sure. I'll kind of jump into that too. I had the Bills by give me them by 10, give me the Bills by 14. Like they're gonna smoke these guys, and I got caught, chasing the curb appeal.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean So another thing about that is I actually didn't put my bet in because I didn't know what time the fucking game started.
Would you think it was 7:30?
No, I thought it was at 8:20. I was like, I'm like cooking dinner. I'm like, getting ready to eat and everything. I'm chopping shit up and my phone vibrates and it's like AJ Brown scores a touchdown. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, scores a touchdown. Wait a second. This game's on and I'm already losing? What happened, right? But I did get the Josh Allen passing prop the day before. So that was nice. It wasn't easy to get. He really made me sweat it out.
Unless you got something.
But what's the deal with the Titans with COVID? I'm not trying to get too inter-sport dimensional here, but the Marlins, they got dinged for COVID big time. They fucking beat my Cubs in the playoffs. Like, I don't get it.
It's the secret meetings.
The rest, the drugs that they're giving you. What is it? Like, I don't understand.
And then after the game, Taylor Lewan was running around.
Oh,
I was like, dude, go fuck yourself.
Yes, Taylor Lewan, I hate
you. Put yourself in this position. No one has anything against you, but you guys are fucking up the schedule, making teams take buys when they're not supposed to, and just jacking everything up. Multiple weeks they screwed up. So
and then you won.
You put it on yourselves, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you won.
And then you have so that gives you the right to talk shit. Yes, we hate you. No, we didn't want you to win. No, you don't deserve to win. You should have forfeited the game. We shouldn't have had to wait for Tuesday Night Football.
Nope.
Although I do like Tuesday Night Football.
I hate it. There's no football on right now. There could be football on right now. I have other things to do on Tuesdays, like not watch football. Like, the hell? Give me my schedule, the Titans, you bastards. From what you guys saw in that game, I got to imagine you're high on Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown. Obviously, Derrick Henry's still the man. I said to everybody, hey, the only guy that I trust in this game is Derrick Henry and no one else. Nobody else. But apparently, walkthroughs over Zoom are pretty efficient. I
like Jonnu Smith, too.
Jonnu Smith, that's the one I forgot. That's the one I forgot.
What about Khalil Freeman for that, one catch for 75 yards and a touchdown? You think that's going to happen again?
He had a couple of catches this last game, but no, because Adam Humphries is coming back. He cleared COVID. You know who hasn't cleared COVID? Kind of a name people have forgotten about. Raquel Armstead for the Jags. Is that dude okay? Like,
yeah,
he's had COVID since the start of the season. Yeah. And I'm only bringing him up because we're going to jump into some Divine Ozigbo talk. Divine Ozigbo coming off the IR. Well, technically, he has 21 days to be activated, but he's practicing. Like he's practicing now, coming back from a hamstring injury. So he's definitely not going to be in the Jags lineup this week, but I expect him there next week. And the following week after that, I expect him to have a legitimate role. Are you guys ready to sell high on James Robinson?
No. I mean, if you're the Jags, the Jags are another horribly run franchise, so who knows what they're going to do, but he's been doing extremely well. Why would you cut his snaps? He can catch the ball, he runs the ball, he scores touchdowns.
I wouldn't say cutting snaps, but just working another guy into the mix, because look at every other running group in the league. No one else is getting that full workload, and you have Chanel taking carries in that mix too. You know what I mean? I don't think Chris Thompson needs to be a thing anymore.
No,
if that's the case.
I forgot he's on the Jags. He's just no role at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for James Robinson, I don't think it's going to like hurt his fantasy value, but I don't know if he's going to be the true bell cow that you've been seeing. That's all I'm concerned about. Maybe losing a couple of downs on third downs every now and again. Maybe losing a goal line carry every now and again. It's not going to be a huge thing, but you're going to see a difference. And so being able to sell high on something like that, you might be able to get a nice little treasure chest in return. I'm not sure. I'm high on James Robinson, and I guess that's where I see that is there's a ton of appeal around him, and some other fantasy owners in your league may not be as savvy, may not even know about this guy coming back. I think after this week, it might be a good week to flip him.
I agree. Yeah, I can see that.
If you get back a starting running back and a receiver in return, maybe like a David Montgomery and a CD Lamb, maybe that's not rich enough. Maybe you need a little bit more there, but those are just kind of the names.
Pretty good.
Kind of coming to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's something to stay on top of. I think that Zigbo will get anywhere from 6 to 8 touches immediately when he gets back. If he does anything with those, who knows what he could turn it into? James Robinson wasn't a thing until he was a thing. Divino Zigbo, haven't seen a ton on the field, but he's got a great name, ton of potential there. I got to think. What do you guys?
And you really liked his college stats.
Oh, the numbers are great. The numbers are great.
He was drooling at the computer, being like, "Do you know Divine Zigbo?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know who."
Look at this shit.
Yeah, and he was like, "He went to Nebraska." I was like, "Oh, I actually do know him. He actually popped off the film to me." And then he went into the numbers. It was like 10 yards a carry or something like that.
It was something.
It was
stupid.
something wild.
Electric.
Yeah, so, it was something stupid. So yeah, if they get something out of him like that, like I said, it's going to be slow to start, but that's how those situations work. I mean, Tyreek Hill was getting at one point 3 touches a game and a touchdown. You know what I mean? It can start at any point. Definitely a name you need to monitor. I still own a Zigbo. I got him on the IR spot. I'm going to sneak him back in there one of these days. We'll see. But he's got to come off first. So got to wait for that. But if you're in a deep stash league, definitely a name to consider. All right, guys. Big one here. Hot seat question. Alex Smith or Kyle Allen rest of the season? Who are you rolling with?
Is Kyle Allen healthy now?
They are both able to play football this Sunday.
Kyle Allen.
Okay.
Alex Smith.
Oh, it's getting fun.
One's good, one's not.
Oh, it's getting fun.
Yeah,
it's getting fun. Alex Smith is good at football.
I mean, it's just.
But he can't run.
He can. I get it. It's just, if that's the option, I'm sticking with Smith. I
love it. I want Alex Smith there, but man, I think they can't try to purposely roll him out on the field on Sundays. If he comes in for Allen, if he gets hurt,
that's different.
And kind of manage things, but man, Kyle Allen needs to just be the guy going forward to keep Alex Smith alive. I don't know how many more Sundays I can last watching Alex Smith take hits. When Aaron Donald jumped on his back like a 4-year-old, I was legitimately scared. Oh, there it goes. I'm waiting literally for the ankle to just crumble underneath itself.
No, trust me, I get it. And obviously no one wants to see that, but with Smith knows the risk he's taking. That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if you're the Washington football team, what are you trying to do?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
The division is very, achievable. It's a mess.
They have a win, so technically they're in it.
Game out, yeah.
They're in it.
If you're serious about it, you ride with Smith.
Why? Why are you serious with it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just got a lot of thoughts on this Washington situation.
Let it out.
Here.
Let it out.
No, you go first.
Let it out. I want to feel it. I want to hear it.
My first thing is shout out to the head coach, Ron Rivera. He looks like hell right now due to his cancer, and he's still out there coaching.
Could have just been the team. Would have fooled me.
Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. So shout out to Ron Rivera. Hope you get better, man. No one wants to see you go through that, but you're doing an amazing, incredible, Herculean job. Now, to the quarterbacks. Alex Smith is a better quarterback than Kyle Allen. Can't fight that. There's plenty of tape that shows that. But the fear that everyone sees when Alex Smith is on the field, how can anybody want to watch that team if you're trotting out someone that literally almost lost their leg? And it wasn't like when he got in, the team started like really killing it. It was just they started.
It was short gains.
It was short gains,
Really short gains.
Game managed gains, and Aaron Donald just went to town. I mean, he was sacked 5 times, and he didn't even play the entire game.
He played a half and 2 minutes.
Exactly. So what I feel is like Enron's saying that they have a win. They're still in a division run. This is the kind of stupid stuff that makes me frustrated with Washington. Is like your whole team is in shambles right now, and you have one win. And you're saying, "Let's go for the gold." Why? You should honestly let Kyle Allen stay in this system. Let him learn it. Use Alex Smith mentally. He can be used as a coach, and your guys are just going to go in, like basically making that push is going to push you into mediocrity, which will get you a 10 to 15 pick in the draft instead of a 2 to 5 pick. This is the kind of stuff that like you guys are playing checkers instead of chess. And I can do this from my couch sitting here and tell you how to run your team, but you guys are the ones making the money. And you're the ones with the ability to make changes, and you guys choose to try out Alex Smith because he's a nice story to hear because you have all this negative press around you that honestly hasn't even been settled. It's just everybody's concentrating on football right now. But you choose to do Alex Smith, and that's very frustrating. The way his wife was acting was exactly how I was feeling because it was just like, why? Joe Theismann.
The faces were great.
Joe Theismann tried to come back and couldn't from the same injury. Alex Smith has done an amazing job. I am not discounting anything that he has done, but let's think about quality of life. You have 3 other kids. You have 3 kids. Like, do you really want to be missing a leg because you break it again because a defensive end wants to jump on your back like Aaron Donald?
He's taking that risk. So I'm going to jump in there.
He's taking the risk. I will say that.
He's taking that risk, like being on the field and that thing. In the actual battle itself between the two, which I really don't think there's a battle. I just think it creates a really good conversation because I don't think Kyle Allen's very good. And Alex Smith is just, like you mentioned, he mentally, he's there, right? Like he's a true NFL quarterback.
Yes.
But the big problem for me is that, one, Smith isn't going to be able to protect himself.
Correct.
His new leg, or whatever you want to call it, 1.5
Bionic.
legs. Yeah. He's not going to have the same mobility. And that was actually a very big strength of his, in the past. Being able to roll out of the play action, being able to extend the play. He now needs to be a pocket passer, a pure pocket passer. If he was able to do that, then yeah, I would feel okay. If I saw the talent around him, crossing receivers that can, clean up stuff up the middle, quick hitting plays and things like that, yeah, sure, I would buy it. But they don't have an offensive line. Nope. We saw Kyle Allen rush for a touchdown in that game. We saw him pass for a touchdown, I believe, too, or no?
No.
We didn't get the passing touchdown. Mm-hmm. I think that he's just a stop quarterback. And Nick, I do agree with you that you should play to the bottom and not the middle if you're the football team, right?
Stop being mediocre, man.
If Allen does get you some more wins, if Smith did get you more wins, that might be great, but you're not winning the division with either of these quarterbacks at the helm. So I would say to roll out Allen going forward. I think Smith is an awesome piece, and I don't mind seeing him come in and take snaps and throw touchdowns if he does, but he should not be the every
Don't lean on him. Don't lean on him.
What I don't understand, though, is what is this team doing, though? Like, what do they want to do?
I ask every day.
So I may be in the minority, but I didn't agree with them benching Haskins because you just said that they need to let Allen stay in and learn the offense.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let Haskins do that.
False. They had 11 weeks of him being the starter, taking first team reps. Ron Rivera is a real coach. He knows what he's talking about, and he's like, I've seen him play first string for 11 weeks.
I think the accountability issues are really what pulled him from the lineup. Like the locker room behavior, the way that he was behaving around veteran teammates,
getting sent
was
home
very
for illness,
salty to the locker room and the culture. Supposedly.
So this is a stat I just wanted to share real quick.
Mm-hmm.
First 11 starts, Dwayne Haskins, 59% completion percentage, 2,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
First 11 starts, Josh Allen, 2,000 yards, 53% completion percentage.
Bad team,
10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Sure.
Not saying they're the same quarterback.
Because they're not.
I'm not. They're two differently skilled players, but one of them you build with. Now, he made leaps and bounds improvements this year. He's at 70%, but it's just an example of a guy who I didn't think Allen after his first year, I was like, he's just going to be a guy, but he got a chance to develop. So you take a guy, you give him a new coach, a new offense, with not even full 16 games. I'm not sure what you're expecting.
Sure. And to kind of cut into a little bit just with the Ron Rivera and accountability talk and all that, it doesn't sound like it was a playability type of situation. It didn't seem like it was, oh, you're not doing well, so we're going to pull you. It's like, hey, man, the guys around you don't respect you. He went into the locker room apparently bragging about his stats against the Ravens. He threw, I think, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, it was 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions.
It wasn't apparently received well by the team. Nick has referenced this about 1,000 times, the selfie in victory formation. His first win, he took a selfie with fans instead of taking the knee. It just doesn't seem like he's a Ron Rivera guy. Ron Rivera didn't draft him. He's not his quarterback. And Josh Allen, I believe, has had the same coach, Bill McDermott.
Sean McDermott.
Josh Allen has a
coach. And the Bills have just built around Allen so well. And I don't expect the football team to do so for any quarterback at this point.
The Washington football team would not go out and go get Stefon Diggs for their quarterback. They would be more willing to get a box safety for $60 million that honestly isn't a playmaker on the team instead of getting someone that can actually help your team. We don't have any receivers. You just want to run with 6th and 7th round guys and undrafted free agents. What are you doing? This is like Dwayne Haskins should have. I will admit there's not much for him to work with, but his mental status, he shouldn't be flaunting about stats. He should be worried about his wins. He shouldn't be taking selfies. He should be in there in the victory formation with his team, celebrating the win with them instead of with fans. It's just.
It just doesn't seem like a good fit for him.
It doesn't seem like a good fit. It doesn't seem like he's mature enough. I do think that he could play in the NFL. Ron Rivera is just an old school type of coach and needed someone to show accountability, and especially someone with the C on their chest. He wasn't the captain.
And he brought Kyle Allen in. Like Kyle Allen is his guy. Like,
who's not very good though.
I'm not saying he's great. Not telling you to draft him, guys. Don't put him on your fantasy team.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like in the NFL, this happens way too much where they blame a quarterback for sucking, but the team does nothing around him. And it's the same thing with Darnold. Josh Rosen, poor guy, got bounced around the league, never got a chance, but he's a bust. The list can go on and on. Haskins, I mean, his time in DC is obviously done. He's going to go somewhere else. But like my thing is, if a guy sucks, a guy sucks. But the one thing you want to know is, I want to know he sucks. I want to let him play because, like Nick said, if you don't want to get stuck in football hell or sports hell, right, mediocrity, where you don't suck enough to get a high pick, but you're not good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, just don't get stuck in the middle.
He's going to drive you one of those 2 places, right? He's either going to suck and you're going to be in the top 3 picking, or he might surprise you and you might be competing for a playoff spot.
But it's Washington, and we don't like to build upon previous years. We have 1 year out of 10 years where we actually go to the NFC Championship game, and then the next 10 years we're actually just falling off the cliff. It's just that the organization doesn't allow the team to build upon years. Like, with Kirk Cousins, RG3 got hurt. Nothing you can do about that. The backup that you drafted right after him, sorry that he actually ended up being something. You should be proud that he did something, but they weren't, and they let him walk for absolutely nothing while putting him on a franchise tag 2 years in a row, and the guy just wanted to play football. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, this team, like, I feel bad for Haskins. I really do, because he came in pretty touted, and everybody's like, oh, Haskins this, Haskins that. But as I watched more of him in the NFL, the more I wasn't impressed. And I was telling Justin this off camera. I was like, I'm watching so much football now, I'm starting to be able to see if someone's a system quarterback or a quarterback with actual talent. Because if Haskins was a quarterback with actual talent, you would see the chemistry with Terry McLaurin pop off the screen. But you just see Terry McLaurin having high, receiving yards and stuff, and being the number 1 receiver. But you don't see Dwayne Haskins having the same kind of game. He is such a system quarterback. It's not even funny. It's very easy to see. And I hope that he finds a system where he does, but he doesn't have the internal drive to be a better quarterback.
Sure.
He's happy with being a starter.
Yeah, I don't hate Haskins. I think he'll find a home somewhere else at some point. Between Allen and Smith, I just don't let Alex Smith die on your watch, Ron Rivera.
Just please.
Let Allen roll out, lose some games, get a good pick for next year. Maybe move some pieces that you have, get more picks. Who knows?
You're already drafting a quarterback next year. Wait, get the high draft pick. Give yourself a chance to actually get Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's going to be hard, but it's not like you guys knew you guys were going to do great this year. Like,
with teams like the Jets, Giants, and Falcons, that's for sure. And that's where I'm going to stop it. That was good talk on the football team and their football throwers.
I had to calm myself down. It gets me way too hyped. I haven't watched a single game, and they still frustrate me. It's so mad.
That's why the names are on the board. I like it. I love it. All right, moving on. Going through some quick questions here for this week. The Lions in a pretty good situation, I think, to hit this prop. It's actually a prop on betonline.ag. Can the Lions go up double digits this week and still lose up against the Jags?
Minshew mania, baby. It's gonna come.
What do you say?
Back.
No,
Yeah, I think the Jags would absolutely need DJ Shark in the lineup.
that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Shark and Chenault didn't practice either.
Yeah.
So he's got to throw to somebody. I can see them blowing a lead. I don't think they're going to lose, though. I just think Stafford, they're coming off a bye. They're going to be good. I don't see it.
I don't know. I like it.
I like it a lot.
Any Lions shade, I'll take it. You know what? I'm going to say it does happen. I'm going to say it does. I'm going to say Shark randomly gets in the lineup at the last minute. Does Tanyan score a touchdown this week? Put up 3 last week. Can Tanyan put up 1?
Yes.
Just 1 this week.
Yeah.
Got Devontae Adams coming back.
Did anybody listen to like how they were talking about Robert Tonyan?
I don't know. Who was talking about him?
They were talking about him at the game actually, and the announcers were like, "Yeah, he actually like reached out to George Kittle, and
they're boys,
they're boys." And for me, it's like, man, if I was boys with George Kittle, I'd probably be wanting to get like exactly like him too. And Robert Tonyan is almost like a twin of him, and you see him, the one touchdown he got where he like did a flip and got back up and was in a zone of absolutely free. That play right there was a Kittle play. Yeah. I could absolutely see Kittle doing that. And I think that kind of like hard work and get back up attitude is going to take him very far with Aaron Rodgers. So I definitely see a touchdown happening for him for sure.
I'll say no for Tanyan for Adams.
You just hate the Packers.
I think Adams probably.
I think Adams will just get overloaded. It's kind of an Aaron Rodgers thing to do. Do the Falcons get their first win this week with Dan Quinn out of the lineup and potentially a little sprinkle of COVID? It's helping teams out recently.
No.
Falcons hosting the Vikings.
I think they're going to Minnesota, actually.
Are they?
I think they're going to Minnesota.
I'll get it pulled up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But either way, I don't see it. I think Minnesota.
They're Falcons start traveling.
Yeah, but Minnesota's starting to settle in. They're still, what are they now? 1-4, 1-3.
Who, the Vikings?
Yeah.
Just 1 win.
But they're starting to get better. Dalvin Cook's out this week. Or going to be out this week. But I think with Madison, and
they don't need to.
I think they'll be okay. This is a game where this is a Kirk Cousins game right here. Playing a bad defense.
He's not playing in prime time, so I don't hate it.
Do you guys think that the Vikings have been the most disappointing team like this year? Because for me, like honestly, I thought they were going to be fighting, right with the Packers and the Bears for the division. I'm kind of disappointed. 1-4 right now. That's disappointing to me.
Giants
especially
and
with
Falcons
the money.
for me. I would have liked to seen the Giants do more in that division. I was higher on Dan Jones, higher on Matt Ryan. So those two teams.
No, I'd say disappointed. I mean, I wasn't really surprised about the Vikings. They tried to rebuild on the fly this offseason by letting go a lot of people and trying to get rookies. So I wouldn't.
Ngakoue at the 13th hour.
Yeah, they got Ngakoue, so I thought I had him as about 7-9, 8-18, which they could still end up with. So I'm not really surprised there. I was looking at the NFL. I'd say the Eagles have been really disappointing to me.
Oh yeah,
I thought they were a team that division I knew was weak. I thought they were primed to take it. Dallas, kind of a close second. I didn't expect that defense to be that bad because statistically last year they were, I think, top 10 in a lot of categories.
Byron Jones effect.
Yeah.
Big deal. It's a big deal.
That was very underrated, because lo and behold, he's gone. Teams are throwing all over with him.
And the Dolphins look real. Look at that.
Dolphins are competitive.
Look at that.
Minka who?
Yeah. So I think I don't think this week. I think they'll win a couple of games, but I would not be surprised if they're one of the teams picking in the top 3 and they're looking to move on from Matt Ryan and just starting fresh with their new coach and GM.
Could you imagine Trevor Lawrence in that Falcon black?
Imagine with Julio Jones, man. That'd be crazy.
Not too
He
bad.
might be going too.
No,
they trade that. You do a double package to the Niners.
I think you do a full
because the Niners need a receiver too.
I mean, they'll probably have the cap space after they get rid of Jimmy.
I if they have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, I see them riding out Julio till his contract ends. I don't think his contract ends this year, does it?
He's got a couple more.
Yeah, so I if they have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, they definitely want to see Trevor Lawrence chuck the ball to Julio Jones. So I mean,
if any rookie quarterback coming in with Calvin and Julio, it's going to be a good situation.
And Russell Gage,
Russ Gage, yeah.
They haven't. That's why I would be okay with it because. Thinking about it, if you go full rebuild with Matt Ryan, you started from the bottom with a new quarterback. I love Julio too. I think he's a great player.
How can the Falcons get into that space? So I got to imagine Matt Ryan is going to win a few games. I imagine this team can still win 5 games, 6 games.
It's not the offense.
They're 0-5, so you're saying they're going to go what? 6-5 rest of the way.
I gotta look at the schedule, but I mean, they can win some. They can win enough games to get out of that top 5. I feel like
The offense is not the problem, but it's not high enough
Last 2
power.
weeks does not look good at all.
It hasn't looked good. It hasn't looked good, but I don't see the offense being as big of an issue as their secondary and their defense because their offense, I think they could score against some lower defensive teams, but they can't keep up when their defense is just letting everybody score, and that's the issue. So
they were losing games like they lost at Dallas. What was it, 40-39?
Yeah.
And the problem is their offense. If their offense isn't scoring 30 games, their defense can't keep them in games.
Exactly. So vice versa. It's just I just don't see Matt Ryan being the issue, but I mean he does have value.
They're in a tough division too now.
3 of their next 5 are losers or have losing records. 3 of their next 4 have losing records. So you never know. It's got to play all 4 quarters.
Let's see, Saints on there twice.
Well, it's they're division. Saints are in 1 to 5 weeks. Saints are in 5 weeks.
They play Lions and Vikings back to back.
that's helpful. I mean, they need some wins out of there though, for sure.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't win
there. And I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't mind if they go on a little 2-gamer.
Yeah.
Who ends up with higher win totals, Houston or Atlanta?
Houston. They're already up 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look at Houston's schedule. Get down to comparing them.
Houston because they have one more game against the Jags.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. All right.
So at least 2.
We're gonna jump into some sitter starts. I don't know if you guys have those pulled up or not, but I will jump into them and start feeding you some here real quick.
Get that up for you.
And we're gonna be shutting it down shortly after that. All right. So I'll lead off with the quarterbacks. Let's see. We'll go right back to it. Matt Ryan at Minnesota or Jared Goff at San Francisco.
Matt Ryan.
Goff.
Oh, it's tough. I think I like Goff a little bit more. The defense for the 49ers just hasn't been there. It just hasn't been as good as we saw. And Fitzpatrick, not a volume passer like Goff, was able to put one in their eye last week. I'll take Goff over Ryan. I'm just also very salty. Matt Ryan owner. That's all. That's all that is. You got one, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with the quarterbacks here.
Oh, you want me to stick with the quarterback?
Yeah,
okay.
we'll go through the top to bottom here.
No problem. I had a wide receiver one, but Kirk Cousins or Deshaun Watson?
Ooh, we just talked about Kirk Cousins. You got the Atlanta Falcons defense. Deshaun Watson going up against the Tennessee Titans. Man, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, the Titans look good. They made Josh Allen look human this past Tuesday, but they're playing on now a short week.
One of them here is Josh Allen versus Kyle Allen.
That's bad. That's really bad. I think we know where we're going there. Man, I don't know if I can buy into Kirk Cousins, though. I guess I'm just going to say Deshaun Watson. Just give him some name value respect this week, I suppose. He did look good last week. I was commenting on a lot of his throws, looking good while he was scoring some points on me.
Looks like a quarterback.
Yeah, I'll take Watson there. What do you think, Cameron?
Watson.
What's your reason?
I just think they're going to be in a position where they're not going to be able to compete in this game, really, and there's going to be a lot of garbage time.
For Minnesota?
For what? I'm sorry, what was Watson versus who?
Tennessee.
No, what was the other quarterback?
Cousins versus
no, Cousins. I'm sorry. Whoa, I heard Tannehill. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I'm taking Cousins. I think, like I said earlier, this is a game Cousins shines in. Shitty defense, at home. Fill it up.
All right, cool. Who you got?
I was looking at an interesting one, a little bit lower down the quarterback side.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton versus Baker Mayfield.
I'll take Andy. He's healthy. And Baker, we don't even know if we're going to get him.
I'm going to take Andy, too, because he's just going to fill in the role that Dak had.
And I like the offense more just because it is focused around the passing attack, whereas the Browns are focused on pounding the ball to Kareem Hunt, D'Ernest Johnson.
So you're not worried about, like, first game taking over jitters?
No, I like the matchup against the Cards. It's in prime time, so that's going to be good. I believe it's on Monday night. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, give me some red rifle.
There you go.
All right, moving over to the running backs. If someone has one, they can fire it off really quick.
James Conner or David Montgomery?
David Montgomery.
I like David Montgomery this week, yeah. I mean,
Panthers D is, run D is 26th.
And Kawan Short, they just lost as well.
Oh, yeah, they did.
A key starter for them ahead of Dwayne Brown, who's going to be there by himself now. So, yeah, I like a little bit more upside for Montgomery this week. You were talking about Nagy coming off the bye, not having some success with that on Twitter. I was in the middle of taking a phone call and trying to type a response to you on that.
Yeah.
I think that he tries to keep it simple and just feed the ball to Monty.
I think so. This is his first, first bye week with Nick Foles and not with
Mhm.
Mitch. Not even a bye week, but mini bye, right?
Mhm.
After Thursday game. I think momentum. When the opposition has allowed them to run, they've run it right. Week 1 and week 2, they were pounding it.
Mhm.
They did lose guard James Daniels for the rest of the year, which is a bummer because he's probably the best O-line so far.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in how they do it, but I think the volume is going to be there.
Yeah, I think Monty will get solid run this week. What do you guys think about a couple of deeper options here, but they're actually top 10 starter options?
Oh man,
Alexander Madison or Mike Davis. You could have easily gotten both of these guys on your roster.
Mike Davis.
Madison going up, filling in for Cook, most likely. I mean, he should get the full workload going up against Atlanta. So Mike Davis versus Chicago, Madison versus Atlanta.
Davis is playing the better defense, but I think he's just going to get more volume, and he's been more productive. And for Minnesota, I'm not sure if Madison is the back to have.
No, he's not. I saw a thing. I saw one play. It was like a snapshot, and he did a dive between the guard and the tackle, and there was like a 5-yard hole right outside the tackle. And it's just like, dude, you don't have the vision to see that. And I'm not saying I would have the vision at an NFL speed, but you're an NFL player, you should have that kind of vision to just hit that hole and get that first
Mike
down.
Boone?
Mike Boone. So last year, Mike Boone had 3 touchdowns versus 1 touchdown for Madison, and he averaged, I think, 5.5 yards a carry.
Not bad.
Versus 4 for Madison. Now, granted, he only had 55 carries to Madison's 100, but he only had, I think, 80 fewer yards on 45 less carries. So,
okay, all right. Prop up some Mike Boone, guys. Get him in your lineup.
Sunday night, it was all Madison because it was an in-game injury. And I think he usually has a role in that offense. But
yeah, Madison gets regular touches.
Do not be surprised if you see Boone get a touchdown.
Ooh, that would suck, having Madison getting poached on the goal line.
Man.
That would suck. All right, what do you guys got?
Wide receiver or
running back?
Running back?
It's Imran's.
Yeah, I'll go for this one. Let's do Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson. I mean, Matt Forte.
Okay.
Who you got?
I lost my shit. I was going to say Aaron Jones.
Oh.
Aaron Jones.
Come on, man. That's like the Josh Allen Kyle.
That's not fair. Yeah, I guess Aaron Jones.
Well, the Bucks run D is pretty good.
I don't care.
Giants run D is pretty bad.
He's a legit running
I mean,
back.
but between the two, I'm still going Aaron Jones for sure. But man, that's tough.
So Darrell Henderson or Gibson?
Gibson. Akers came back last week. He had I think 8 to 10 carries. Could be building up the role, building it up. We don't know what we're going to get there.
Oh, actually, sorry, I don't want to do 3, but I think this is probably more appropriate.
Good.
Gibson versus Freeman.
Gibson.
Freeman's looking a little bit better now.
Gibson.
Matt Forte or Devontae Freeman.
Oh,
that's right. Antonio Gibson. That's
Shots
right.
fired.
That's right. All right. Wide receivers. Get them pulled up here.
I got him.
Go ahead. Fire one off.
Roby Anderson or Devontae Parker?
Roby Anderson or Devontae Parker?
I'm taking Parker.
Man,
I'm taking Roby.
Roby's looks so good though.
He's looked amazing.
Against Johnson and Fuller.
They're top 5. They're a top 5 pairing in the league. Devontae, who do they have? Oh yeah, I got to go against the Jets. I got to go Devontae Parker against the Jets for sure.
So
and Fitzmagic is just he's rolling right now. He's rolling.
Revenge game. Well, you could say that against for half of his games.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Let's see. Man, Roby Anderson's still staring at me. I want to use him. Give me some banged up guys. Give me a Darius Slayton or DJ Shark.
Shark.
If they're both going, if they're both healthy and they're both good to go, they were both game time decisions. Who are you plugging in? Which game timer?
Shark. Slayton did not pop as much as I expected him to with Shepard out. I see
Shepard's practicing too, by the way.
Oh, even worse. So yeah, not Slayton.
I'm gonna take Chark.
Yeah, if they're both healthy, I mean, Shark was limited the week he had 2 touchdowns. When he grabbed those, so I think he still has some value as long as he gets onto the field. What do you got, Imran?
How about CeeDee Lamb versus DJ Moore?
CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore.
CD
has just been so disappointing.
CD.
I'll say DJ Moore just because I think the Panthers got to do something to move the chains.
So
Mike Davis,
so
DJ Moore.
So maybe this one might be a little bit easier. Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. Justin hasn't shown consistency yet like CD has.
All right, tight ends.
I got tight end.
What do you got?
Mike Gesicki or Robert Tonyan.
It's a good one. Good one. Oh man, I hate picking on the Jets.
I don't.
Yeah,
They do it
Tanyan going
themselves.
against Tampa Bay. Yeah, I got to go Gesicki. Bucks have respectable linebackers.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll go Gesicki. What do you say?
I am gonna go Robert Tonyan because
You feel really bad about telling that dude Russell Gage. You've been
do.
propping up Robert Tanyan since.
I've been really bummed about that. Sorry, Wes.
So I asked he's like, hey, well, Russ Gage versus Tanyan before this 3 touchdown game. We're like, well, fucking Russ Gage, bro. Duh. Like, do you have a pulse?
I mean,
Right?
I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I just feel so bad about it.
I almost decided to retire on that one, but I decided to come back, give it another
But
go.
To be fair, the guy was asking for his last flex spot. I'm like, bro, don't get too cute with it trying to start 2 tight ends. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You already have a guy there.
I think Julio was already out in that game.
Yeah, it's so bad. So bad.
Still sorry, Wes. But yeah, I mean, Robert Tonyan in that game, even though it's 3 touchdowns, I saw a lot more than just the touchdowns. He just showed to be that dude in Green Bay that they've kind of been looking for at that tight end position.
Mhm.
Mike Gesicki is a great weapon, but I see him being more of a third piece in that offense, and
Sure.
Tonyan can get to that second piece behind
It's
Devontae.
a little bit easier with the less receivers, right?
Yeah, so that's why I'm propping him up. But again, still sorry, Wes.
All right, what do you guys think? Austin Hooper or Tyler Higbee?
Oh man, Higbee. I like Higbee.
What do you think, Imran?
I think Hooper.
I think Hooper too. Just OBJ.
I see a red zone touchdown for him.
He needs one. He's been getting more work. He had 10 targets season high last week.
I just see him on a curl around getting a 7-yard touchdown or something.
Good on him. Get to it, Hooper. Yeah, I think with Landry and OBJ potentially, missing some time this week in practice, there might be an opportunity for Hooper to grab a few more snaps. Maybe get a couple random play calls. Looking good in practice type of situation. So, yeah, pretty good sitter starts there. I'm going to run through just some quick props here. Just want to ask you guys. We already went through a couple of them actually, and then we're going to close down the show. So a couple of fun ones here. Jets and Giants. Can they combine for 6 wins the rest of the season?
No.
Man,
I'm going to say no too. I don't think the Jets can help.
I think this is mainly a Giants bet.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know if the Giants can win that many games, but can the Giants get 5 and the Jets get 1?
No.
What about 4? I put the Jets at 2 wins this season. I don't feel comfortable hitting the number. I don't feel it.
Yeah,
They're gonna keep
unless
giving away
they get a
everybody.
forfeit COVID win.
Oh, that would be terrible for the book. That would be terrible.
man.
That'd be hilarious if that happens. I just don't see that happening.
Last week.
It was. I think you guys have probably seen the stat on Twitter.
Mhm.
Who was the last football team to win a game in that stadium? Was the XFL team.
Oh my God.
Oh,
No, I did
no.
not. That's terrible. Wow. They probably didn't have anybody get hurt either.
No.
That's terrible.
Jeez.
All right, next one. Does Dwayne Haskins start again this season for the football team, non-injury related?
No.
Not injury, no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no
I
as
think
well.
that's just over.
Who is the last winless team? Pretty easy one, but the options are the Jets, the Falcons, and the Giants.
Jets.
I think the Jets.
The Jets. Okay, agreed. We did the Lions 10.1. They'll blow that for sure. We know it. Will Washington, we've been talking about them. Will they draft a quarterback next year with their first pick?
Yes.
I guess I'll say yeah. If Haskins isn't
I
Rivera's
say
guy,
no. I say no, not their first pick. Because I think all 3 quarterbacks, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and
Mhm.
Lawrence, are going top 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if they're going to be the 3rd worst team. I feel like the Washington team, knowing their luck, they'll be the 4th, and they'll just miss out on it. So I think they may trade back into this.
No. If they're 4th, they're going to mortgage the future, like they did with RG3, and then they're going to move up 2 spots to take someone that was going to be taken at 4. But they're going to think that they're being smarter than everyone else, and the person's going to get hurt. It's just
you're talking about the Bears.
No. I'm talking about the Redskins or the
Yeah,
Washington.
that's true.
But
when a couple of 3rd rounders, wasn't that much?
when Emron's talking about they probably won't do this, I'm like, man, you haven't been watching Washington football for the past couple of years, So you're a Chicago Bears fan. I mean,
it's just a new GM though. It's not the same GM.
they don't have a
in the
GM.
past.
They don't have a GM.
Rivera's running it.
No, he is the football coach, and the president is operations, but there is no GM right
Doesn't he
now.
have final say with player personnel though?
No,
That's what I thought when he was getting signed.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
But Washington will do the stupidest move that you can see. I mean, they picked Josh Doxson at 21 when I said we need I said we needed an offensive lineman. They refused to fix that left guard spot. They're going to pick a quarterback in the first round next year because they have no one else there, and they're going to think that he's going to be a savior. So that's my thoughts.
All right, I'm officially banning football team talk for 2 weeks.
Okay.
We've accomplished everything that we need from that organization. Guys are arguing about who's the GM. I don't know. We don't give a fuck who their GM is. They're terrible.
Yeah, they are.
All right, who will win more games this season, the Jets or the Giants? The Giants.
Giants.
Okay. Who wins a game first, the Giants or the Jets? I think we're going to say
Giants.
The Giants. Okay, very good. By the way, these are all bets that you can go and make. So if you think they're easy, go and bet them. Is Dwayne Haskins traded before the deadline?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
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 All right, that's it. The next Falcons head coach, who is it? I got Eric Bieniemy, Lincoln Riley, Josh McDaniels, Raheem Morris, Byron Leftwich, Jim Harbaugh, Dabo Sweeney. Any of these names popping off at you guys?
Dabo.
Adam Gase.
Wild card.
Bastard. Oh man. I'll take Eric Bieniemy for also for the Texans coaching one. So the Texans one is
They did say they were interested in Adam Gase if he became available.
That is
Jesus
not me
Christ.
joking. That is something that they said.
So for the Texans, pretty much the same lineup: Bieniemy, Dabo, Josh McDaniels. This one has Greg Roman in the top 5, and also Lincoln Riley.
Greg Roman would be a good fit. I would like Greg
Bieniemy.
Roman with Watson.
So Bieniemy, he's on the hot seat, sir. Everyone wants you to be their coach.
Let's see
what you do with it.
I say Bieniemy goes to Houston because I think Atlanta has a legitimate shot to have the first overall pick, and they're probably going to take Trevor Lawrence. And having his college head coach wouldn't be a bad start. So I think that is more possible. I see Bieniemy definitely getting a spot as a head coach, which he fully deserves, and it's going to be in Houston.
All right, who's the next head coach to be fired? I got Adam Gase, Matt Patricia, Doug Marrone, or Anthony Lynn, top candidates. Throw Mike Zimmer in there too, one of Nick's favorites.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer.
The Vikings love Zimmer for some reason. So I think
Have you seen his wife?
Girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
Smoke
I
show.
don't think she's ready to make that commitment yet.
it should be Gase.
But it's going to be Patricia.
I feel like it should be Gase. I did not think he'd be the third. We'd be at this point. I mean,
how many games does he have to lose? Like how? Like I mean, realistically, like in his career,
how bad does he have to fuck a team up?
Yeah. Miami, now the Jets, like, do they even look at anything that he did there and now what he's doing in New York? Like, they don't want to compare, the comparisons. All right. Closing it out, Patrick Mahomes, does he lose another game this year by 7 points?
Yes.
By 7, no, but he is going to lose on Sunday.
Ooh, snaps. Playing the Bills? On the road, Bills hosting. We'll get to that. We won't. Never mind.
You guys can make fun of me on Sunday if I'm wrong and the Bills lose by 20.
Okay, I don't really care about that, but I can. I thank you. Andy Dalton, does he pass for 2 touchdowns this week?
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes. Yes, hey, huzzah! Across the board.
Huzzah!
Andy Dalton, another one. Does he hit over 260 passing yards this week?
Yeah. 300 easy.
Sure, fuck it.
I don't think
Sure.
so. I think that offense is going to go more through Zeke. He's going to probably be like.
I think their defense is bad. It sucks,
It's
and they're chasing points.
It's
so give me the over.
It's absolutely possible to throw 300 yards and still have 100 yards rushing. So
All right, give me Cowboys wins for the rest of the season, over 5 or under 5. They
Where are
have
they
2
at
wins
now?
right now.
Okay.
2 wins right now. So over 5 puts them to 8-8.
over.
Do the Cowboys finish 8-8 on the season? Is pretty much the bet here. What do you think?
No.
Yes.
I'm going to say they can probably go over that number, to be honest with you.
So you're saying they're going to go at least 6-5 the rest of the way?
9-7? Yeah.
That's not a tall task, especially in the division.
And that
they're in.
division, it's bad. It's real bad. You got a 0-5 team in that.
I'm pretty sure they play Washington twice too.
Yeah, they haven't played Washington.
Yep. So there you go. There's 2 right there.
Sam Darnold traded before the deadline.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Minus 1,000 says no. They're hanging on to him. Ouch. Sorry,
I
Sam.
think it's the same situation.
Vegas says no. You
Yeah.
can't leave.
I'm gonna say yes.
No.
All right. Will the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are
They're gonna
ahead
sneak
of the Ravens in their division. Actually,
They're not gonna be ahead of when it finishes. They're not gonna be ahead of them, but they're gonna sneak in.
yeah. Okay. What we got here? New England Patriots make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
So,
Absolutely not.
I just think the Bills take the division, and I think other teams will just have a better record.
I say, yeah, I'm looking at the wild card spots. The other 3 wild card teams I have
Mhm.
Steelers and the Browns.
Yeah, but
Then I have the third last wild card open.
what is it? The AFC North, they just all have winning records. Is that right?
Yeah, they're all 4-1.
Or no, the Bengals.
The Steelers are number 1 and
yeah.
they're undefeated.
Yeah, but the Bengals
are 1-4. Or
yeah,
1-3-1.
I got you.
Or something like that.
I could see those 3 teams making it though. Like,
I think they are. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Could potentially hold out a team like the Steelers.
Well,
like,
there's extra
or, I'm
wild
sorry,
cards.
I mean the Patriots.
There's the extra
Yeah, I know, but we got the damn Colts and the Titans.
Colts are trash.
Oh, their defense though, it's going to be a problem for people. It's going to be a problem around the league.
They cannot overcome what's going on with Phil Rivers.
Yeah, it's.
Is it a Frank Reich problem now though?
No.
It's Rivers. I mean, you see him.
But that's what I'm saying. Frank Reich is going to bat for Rivers. Why? Like, he's playing badly. He's not passing the eye test.
I think he was hoping. I mean, I didn't watch them too much last year. I don't know how bad Brissett was, but I think he was hoping if he got average play from a quarterback, which he thought Rivers was going to give him, they'd be okay. But he's anything but. He looks worse than what Breeze looks like now.
Mhm.
You know, when you look like a guy that's really old.
Mhm.
I think that's just going to catch up. They're going to finish like 8-8.
I agree, but what I'm saying is Frank Reich is making a mistake talking him up this much. Like,
oh, absolutely.
That's a lack of accountability. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about Ron Rivera for a while, and you know the
Yeah.
problems that Haskins got in for not having accountability. Frank Reich, you know, saying to the rest of his team like, "This production is okay. This is good. He's not the problem. That's a problem to me." So, anything to add? That's how I'm going to wrap it up.
No, that's good.
All right, this is TITTH number 57. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be dropping it tomorrow. We'll share it out, get it on our website and everything. We will be hosting a Sunday show live, 7:30 in the morning. You can jump into the chat if you want. It's pretty early, but no big deal. We'll share it again after we complete the live show, and you'll have it out well before 1 o'clock Eastern time. So take care. Be well. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.